It's week 4 of the 2022 season, and we'll see DJ Moore coming off a nice performance, bringing in a pair of touchdowns. It's the Panthers and the Cardinals, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Today it's week 4 and we've got what should be a great one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of top 5 defenses in the NFL squaring off, and opportunities to score, well, they figure to be extremely limited.
And partner, you know my smile is wide because this is a lot of fun for a guy like me to watch, as you noted. And if there's something else that we both know that these teams take pride in, it's how well their defense have done at controlling games and putting them in a position to win. Something else they're proud of, though, how high they rank in the league. And they're trying to use this game to move up in those rankings and become the top defense in the league.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in week 4. Takes it at the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. We see Carolina's offense getting set for their first possession here. And at quarterback, his second season with the Panthers, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was one of the big-time early season stories of last year, leading Carolina to a 3-0 start with some really good play. Only one win the rest of the way, however. Not quite the change of scenery boost the Panthers hoped for after getting him from the Jets. You have to think in his 5th season, he will need to play some of the best ball of his career to remain as a starter for Carolina.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold, he's going to look deep for more. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Darnold. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And the Cards are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. After the turnover, here's Murray. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Murray going to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. Open man is Higgins. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Here's more on the return. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. To throw again on 2nd down. Murray. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Cardinals at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Murray now on 1st down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Panthers now set to take over offensively. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Darnold from the gun. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Darnold on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, Darnold. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
On is the punter Hecker as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Murray now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Green. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the gun, Murray. And this will be swung out here for counter. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
First down by DeAndre Hopkins, and this guy, he's looking for a rebound from uncharacteristically low numbers last season. Missed the first significant time of his career due to injury and was limited to career lows in catches and yardage. Back and fully healthy, we expect him to return to his all-pro form.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Now, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Here's Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A first down and then some. 36 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is counter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We're scoreless after 1. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Again, it's counter. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Murray. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
4th down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. From the 27, Darnold. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Now following the sack, Darnold and Carolina left with a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, Darnold loses it. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Murray from midfield. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dunk that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now.
They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
I'm sure he said challenge accepted. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25.
A big play there for Carolina. 41 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
To the air again, Darnold. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Darnold now to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Flushed out right.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Couple of Oklahoma teammates there. Murray to Brown for a Cardinal first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw, Darnold. Flush to his right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. A shotgun snap for Darnold.
He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Throwing again is Darnold. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Cardinals going to get the football one final time here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Murray, and the catch made by Hopkins. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey.
And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Wrecking the defense there was Brandon Smith. Back to stop him before he got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a draw play. This is Connor. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Credit Corey Littleton blowing that play up. Well, the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's Darnold. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
Oh, boy, hang on here. J.J. Watt appears to be injured, or at least shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Here's Johnny Hekker now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start the drive with a give to Connor.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Murray. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Murray now on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Dante Jackson picks it, and he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception returned for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
From the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And this will be swung out here for counter.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Murray going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jeremy Chin picks it off.
And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Now Darnold. And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Panthers use the short field to get in for 6.
Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Murray now to throw. Dancing to his left. Finding Green complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers set to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here.
Right at the 30. To throw is Darnold. Looking left side and he's got a man. That's Anderson. On second down, McCaffrey. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
To throw again on second down. Darnold. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 38-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. I guess give him credit for at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, Charles, because he could have easily lost a couple there.
He showed a lot of fight and grit on that run, and it's the type of play that coaches aren't going to wait for film session to praise. They're going to go to every position and say, that's the kind of effort we need from all of you.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay.
And my goodness, another interception. Duke Dawson picks it, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The Panthers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Darnold. This one complete into the hands of Higgins.
And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Foreman. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Deontay Foreman, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got Green. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. To throw is Murray. It's complete to Hopkins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 2.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Now Murray again.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Murray.
He's got the connection to Moore. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now from Murray. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Giving to the big tight end on 4th.
And he is going to have the Cardinals 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Murray giving to Connor on the option.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Touchdown! Zach Ertz, his 1st touchdown on the year.
And the Cardinals are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey, and he gets it down to the 32. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And this one is right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big 2nd half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the 2nd half, and that led them to victory.
So for Carolina, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.